BOM accuracy, the backbone of Annex 24 compliance. When companies think about Annex 24 compliance, the first thing that often comes to mind is the inventory control system. However, one of the most critical elements behind the accuracy of that system is something much more operational, the bill of materials, commonly known as the BOM. In fact, many trade compliance professionals describe BOM accuracy as the backbone of Annex 24 compliance. The reason is simple. Annex 24 tracks how temporarily imported materials are consumed in the manufacturing process, and the way the system calculates that consumption is based directly on the relationships defined in the BOM. In other words, the BOM defines how raw materials and components are transformed into finished goods. If the BOM accurately reflects the real production process, the Annex 24 system can properly calculate material consumption and maintain reliable inventory balances. But when BOM structures are outdated, incomplete, or inaccurate, the system will generate incorrect results, and over time, these discrepancies can accumulate. This may lead to differences between production records, inventory balances, and the customs declarations reported to the authorities. For this reason, maintaining accurate BOM structures is essential. Companies should regularly review their BOMs to ensure they reflect the actual manufacturing process. Another important aspect is understanding whether the BOM structure is single-level or multi-level. Multi-level BOM structures can add complexity to material consumption calculations, especially when sub-assemblies are involved. This makes accuracy and documentation even more important. Engineering changes are another factor that companies must manage carefully. Manufacturing environments constantly evolve. Components may change due to engineering updates, supplier changes, cost optimization initiatives, or the introduction of substitute materials. When these changes occur, they must be properly reflected in the BOM. This includes updating the BOM structure and defining a clear effective date indicating when the modification becomes applicable. Without effective dates, the system may calculate material consumption incorrectly across different production periods. Another important element to consider is the management of scrap and production waste. In many manufacturing processes, a certain level of scrap is expected. If scrap is not properly recorded or reflected in the system, the material consumption recorded in Annex 24 may not match the real production results. Over time, this can create discrepancies in inventory balances. For this reason, companies should ensure that scrap, yield adjustments, and production losses are properly captured and integrated into their production and inventory systems. Finally, BOM accuracy is closely connected to data integrity. Elements such as part numbers and units of measure must remain consistent across systems. For example, if a component is recorded in pieces in one system and in weight units in another, the resulting calculations may become inconsistent. Strong governance over master data helps ensure that BOM structures remain reliable and that the information used by the Annex 24 system reflects the real production environment. In summary, BOM accuracy plays a fundamental role in maintaining reliable Annex 24 records. When BOMs are accurate, engineering changes are properly documented, scrap is managed correctly, and master data remains consistent, companies significantly improve the reliability of their inventory control systems. And ultimately, this strengthens their ability to demonstrate compliance with customs regulations. Learn more about Annex 24 in Prudenza Academy. Built for strategic execution.